Hello, hello, guys. So I was asked to talk about latios in Mono Light. So, is she good? Is she bad? Is she important? So, very first thing is, yes, in Mono Light, latios is very powerful, and that's honestly the only comp you should be running her in. So, at least on that part, we can all agree on. Now, why is that? Because that's the obvious question. So, very first thing, we're going to look at her kit. Increased critical rate, critical damage by 20%, gonna say much better than her old one, and it goes up, accumulates up to 5 times as long as you're not facing an Alios. This is pretty good, honestly. Critical rate, critical damage has a great synergy. If you get her some decent pass effect, it should work out well. There's a bunch of different comps you can run in frontline, so that the shot active is good. Second one, this is more like an iffy subject for people. Increase max life and attack power of lighters. As much as it's good to have a global totem, maybe not on a striker. But again, you're supposed to be running mono light with her, so 20% max life and 20% attack power is the equivalent of a weak ace. Not that bad. Then we have heavenly power. Increase attack power by 35, critical damage by 30%. I'm gonna say the attack power is a bit better here because the critical damage, we're already increasing it here. The more you stack the same thing, the weaker it is. You know the rules. Um, Increase critical rate by 30%, recover the team's life. Okay, they got critical rate in there, so it's going to help with the fact that there's very little critical rate, especially at the beginning. And recover 30% of the life. It's divided by half in PvP, so a bit weaker. So why is this very powerful in Mono Light? Well, the thing you need to know is that Mono Light is known for two things. First one is healing, second one is speed. So if you're fast and you can keep doing this, especially since now a lot of people have stopped using healers, it's going to be very powerful in the sense that you keep getting healed and healed while they're just getting weaker and weaker. And the weaker a unit gets, the lower chance it's going to have that it's actually going to try a move. Unless it's a defender. Defenders don't care that they're on one life and they're about to get tracked, they still try to steal the ball, praying for reflex, allowing you to win. Yes, this happened to a lot of people, and I know a lot of Magnus users who are going to tell me how demonic certain things have been for them. Now, if you're going to be looking at her on a Spirit Stone slot, it is the triple mono light. You can try a run Will of Metatron if you want to go really heal heavy, or SOB if you're trying to go damage heavy. You're usually going to be running a light crit rate, like dribble or light penetrate in the other slot. And for the prime slot, it's going to be art or critical damage for obvious reasons. So that's pretty much how you're going to be running her. You can run her as ace because, again, 25% DR, that gets bursted for light players unconditional is insane. So ace 2, she's pretty good. So what you want to run with her is always going to be a team that is very tanky heavy. So you want people with DR, people with heal, and you want the fastest backline humanly possible. Just because the faster they are, the lower chance the enemy team will shoot, and the more people are getting damage, the lower chance they're even going to get to your backline in mid and end game. Some players that she's going to synergize well is when on the team there's going to be something like a White Guardian, a Milky Way, Duke, Jibril, what's her name, Bev, Sammy, Black Ivy, Cheetos, Isilla, or actually K is kind of better for Latios though, just because of the way he stacks. But Isilla's also fine. So basically the idea is you want to speed back, you want a goalkeeper with a lot of life that is tanky, and he doesn't even need to waste a stone slot getting something that heals them, but let's be honest, we're just going to stick it there because we can. Ivy's great because she's going to increase the max life of the team. Latios is great because she's going to heal. You can throw a Jibril here just to be sure to get enough spirit to keep stacking actives. Plus, her active throwing into Latios will allow Latios to keep stacking her own active. The only thing is if you have a Vonchi, this doesn't work. It's complicated, but don't look at Vonchis. So again, Latios in Mono Light is good because she's going under the principle of they're not going to be able to win the game fast because we're going to stop them from shooting, and because of that, we're going to be able to force them in a corner and then finally beat them down on the fifth stack of the active, who, I mean, let's be honest, 100%, actually, no, 120% critical damage with an extra 125% critical rate, who should bring her, without looking at stones, to approximately 200%. Is already pretty damn high. Give her some Will of Metatron or some good stones and good stone subs. She could be at 300% with insanely high critical damage. Give her a good pass and it should win it. Again, it does require some longer games, so if you want the game to end fast, this is really not the striker for you. But again, Mono Light, she can work pretty damn well. So hope this helps the people who are asking me, How good is latios in mono light? Should we use her? The answer is yes, as long as you don't own Vonchi, because I feel bad for Vonchi, plus Vonchi wins faster. That's a different kind of build, so it's up to you. See you guys. I'm going to be posting more videos later on.